So then how did you figure out your why?
I have two wives actually. So the first one is my wife, and so when I was homeless, we were dating, right?
She dated you while you were homeless?
Yes. And then I was sleeping in the car, and she came into the car, and she wanted to just sleep with me for the night, right? I was like, you should go back to your dorm. And she said, no, I feel very warm here. Yeah, so she's my first reason. And second reason is my mom. So my mom unfortunately passed away about 3 years ago. I still remember the day I went back to China, she had a stroke. And the day I have to leave to the States to do this business, this land thing. Yeah, I didn't know by then that was the last time to see her. And then the COVID hit. Nobody could see her until she passed away. She basically died alone. When we do anything, there's two motives, right? The first motive is we want to avoid the pain. I absolutely hate my life. I want to change it. That's why I came to America. So, I will do whatever it takes.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for today's episode of Real Estate Disruptors. So we got Zhang with LandFlip Incorporated. He flew in from Jacksonville, Florida to share how he went from homeless to 7 figures flipping land, working 4 hours a day. Now, I am on a mission to create 100 millionaires. The information on this podcast alone is enough to help you become a millionaire in the next 5 to 7 years. If you take consistent action, you will become one. And we've got something that we're going to be launching in about 30 days, officially May 17th. If you want to be in the loop, go to stevetrang.telegram.com. I promise you, you're not going to want to miss this. If you get value out of the show, please tag a friend below, share this episode right now, hit the subscribe button. The more we work together, the more people we can help. And there's a live show, so please ask your questions for Ray to answer. You ready?
Absolutely.
All right,
we're ready.
All right, perfect. So the first question is, what was your life like right before you got into real estate?
So I came to America about 12 years ago.
12 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I started learning English. The fact that you can understand me is a miracle right now. So.
Hey, 12 years. That's really good. That's awesome. Where did you come from exactly?
From China.
What part of China? Because it's
Beijing.
pretty big. So Beijing.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Did you come here for real estate?
No, I came here for school, and
Okay.
I really hated my life, so I want to change it. And
Hated your life before you got here or after you got here?
before.
Okay.
Right. So on here is freedom, right? So I was thinking what to do because right after I came, I became homeless. So I lived in the car for a couple months, and I started to flip all different free stuff. The things that you can see every day, the microwave, the bed frame, all those. And I started to do cars after that.
Got it.
And after that, I started to do real estate.
Okay, so you were in Beijing. You come here on a student visa, or how did you get here?
Student visa.
Came here on a student visa.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Beijing?
Playing video games. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
which was pretty common, or is still
Right.
pretty common, right? Addiction to video games, I think, is one of those things they're always trying to figure out how to resolve, right?
Yeah.
But were you did you study anything in college? Did you graduate college? Like what were you leaving behind?
I was pretending to go to college. So
Okay.
I would go to we have this internet bar in China, right?
Mhm.
So I would go there on Monday morning, and I'll come out on Saturday night. And then I would go home and tell my mom I actually went to school, but I spent all my time playing video games. So
Okay, I mean, were you at least excellent at these video games?
I was a professional.
You were a professional. Were you
Yeah.
getting paid for it?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So what were you playing?
Counter-Strike, so the
Counter-Strike.
shooting games.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
professional. So what kind of money are we talking about?
About $200 a month.
$200 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, so professional, but not something that you can work with.
We didn't have Instagram, those we can go live by then, but there's a very minimum money.
Is that something you can go back to? Could you play Counter-Strike for money now?
Probably not.
Probably not,
That
okay.
guy's super good right now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you come here on a student visa. So you must have gone to college. I mean, you must have done some college to be able to get here on a student visa, right?
I went to college, but didn't graduate in China.
Right.
And then I came here and didn't graduate either. So I guess I'm not good at learning, right? So
Yeah. So college was not the avenue.
yeah.
So you became homeless immediately?
Yeah, right after I came here, I started to live in the car. I remember I put my luggage in the back seat and between the gaps so that I can sleep flat.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you know you were going to be homeless when you got here?
I didn't know. But
What was your plan when you got here?
just see what's going on later on, right? So I
Yeah.
have to do it first. Yeah.
So this is the ultimate. I'll figure it out when I get there.
Yes.
That's extreme. I'm pretty much in that camp of like I'm gonna jump off the bridge or the cliff, and I'll build the plane on the way down.
Right.
You actually
Yeah.
jump off and build the plane on the way down.
Right. So when we do anything, there's two motives, right? The first motive is we want to avoid the pain. I absolutely hate my life. I want to change it. That's why I came to America. So I will do whatever it takes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume then you weren't married at this time.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you're homeless. You're flipping free stuff. Whereas this is like off Craigslist.
Craigslist. There's a section on Craigslist. It's called free. I just go there and just grab everything I can.
So, I when HD TVs first came out, I want to say like 2002, 2003, right? You had like the plasmas; those are super expensive. But then eventually we got like the Sony Vegas. You remember those?
Yeah.
Right? They're super heavy.
Very heavy.
So I got like one of the first like Sony Vegas back when I was in California. It was like a really expensive TV, right? But then technology improves, this and that, and Sony Vegas aren't very good. So I remember I was trying to sell my TV, right? Started at $100, $80, $40, $20. Like no one wants
heavy
this TV for $20. Yeah, no one wants this heavy TV.
Yeah.
And I posted it for free. And I think I got like 20 different people that reached out to me. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you were doing.
Yeah, maybe I already saw you, right? So
So you go to their
Right.
free section, you pick things up. So you just go to their houses, like.
go to their houses. Yeah.
So I think this is a fascinating side hustle. So let's kind of spend some time here. If I want to hustle off of the free stuff, like what was the strategy?
So I actually have a student doing that right now.
Okay.
She's making about $1,000 a week
Nice.
just doing this.
Okay.
So a lot of people say I don't have money to start. That's serious skills, right? So whatever we do, the strategy is go to Craigslist. There's a free section, or you can go to Facebook on the marketplace. You can just search free. You'll be surprised what people will give it out for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just search for free stuff.
Yeah.
You reach out to whoever's got it. You go to their house, pick it up.
Yep.
And then you just repost it on Craigslist or offer up
On Facebook. Yeah.
on Facebook.
Offer up. Yes.
And then
That's the
that's just how you make your money.
Yeah, the key words is fast. So you have to do it fast. You have to keep scrolling and don't miss it, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
to make $1,000 a week, I think being fast is okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm guessing here you probably would drive to the nicer parts of town to get the free stuff,
Yeah.
and then you post it on the way home, and then you have it sold by the time you get home. Like, what's the?
I would just post it when I get it in the car. I would just post it right away. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
But is it generally in the nicer parts of town you get the free quality stuff, or am I making an overgeneralization?
I think it is middle class, richer area, and because some people don't even have stuff to give out for free, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So you started microwaves, and what was the fanciest thing you got for free?
I got it like I remember there was a CD player. I sold it for like $150. Sometimes I sell it if the item is very light. I'll sell it on eBay. So I sold it for $150. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about $1,000 a week, it's a lot of hustle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have Ryan Pineda has been on the show a few times, and his whole thing is just flipping couches.
Yep.
Right. So I imagine you probably seen his content around that.
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. So then you said you got into cars.
Yeah.
But cars is not the free section.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you hustle free stuff, and you involve in the cars. How long were you hustling the free stuff? How long were you hustling in the cars?
So I started to flip cars, and then I completely stopped the free stuff because I think it's a waste of time. But cars, there's a lot of money to be made, and I remember I still doing it sometime right now, but I don't have a lot of time. But by then, I was making about 30 grand, 40 grand a month just flipping cars.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a profit.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was still worth stop doing. It was still worth it to stop doing that one. That sounds pretty good. 30,000, 40,000 a month profit.
But the thing is, you have to find the parking place. Sometimes I just park in my car. The HOA don't like it. And when I was in Hawaii, I park along the street. People don't have even parking space. When I was in college, I park all my cars on the campus. That's why I got kicked out.
That's why you got kicked out of school.
Yeah. So the principal actually lived inside the campus. And one day he came out and there was spring break. So he was like, I thought this is a break. And we have so many cars on the parking lot. And who owns these cars? And he called the security. The security saw the camera footage. It was an Asian guy driving the BMW, walking around, and the principal called me in and said, you have to go.
How many cars did you have on the at the school in this time?
About 80.
Okay, so I can see how you can get the 40,000. So it's like $500 profit a car.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a lot of hustle for a smaller margin. That makes sense to me. Okay,
Yeah.
so then you go from flipping cars to what?
I've been trying to do real estate when I was in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
So the words is trying, right? So I tried different things and I paid so many tuition coaching fee. It never worked out for me. I just didn't know why. Now I know it's distraction, right? So you cannot, if you don't focus on one thing, you try to do two different things or many different things, it's not going to work. So I paid all these tuitions, virtual wholesaling apartments, buy and rent, BRRRR method. I tried it all, but it never worked out.
So you tried all these different things, and it is of your opinion, it didn't work because of you, not because of the programs.
Not the program. Yeah, every program works. If you look at even the not so good coaches, they have successful students. So the program works. Is me not working because I got so distracted.
Well, that's a lot of ownership there.
Yeah.
So the reason why you went from cars to real estate, because it was directly from cars to real estate?
Yes.
There was nothing else in between?
No.
Okay, so the reason why you went into real estate is because it was just too much work doing cars.
Also, the profit is very enticing. So I see all these guys, they post their Lamborghini. They're like, I just made 30,000 on my house flip. I was like, I'm making like 1,000 on my flipping cars. I have to flip 30 cars to match one deal.
Right.
So why not me doing that, right?
Sure. That makes sense. So you spent all this money in tuition. Did you at least close deals along the way, or it was just...
I closed one.
One. Okay.
Made $3,000 on that.
Oh, $3,000.
Yeah.
So $200K in courses for $3,000
Return.
In return. Okay.
Right.
So what did you... So right now you're doing land.
Yeah.
So then did you try A, B, C, D, E, and then eventually figure out, okay, land's for me?
So land is just a vehicle. I made a decision I'll focus on one thing. So that kind of worked out for me about 4 years ago, and that's really nailed. I have a lot of success after that.
Okay, so you decided I need to focus on one thing, and that one thing is going to be land.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you decided land was going to be your thing, how long was it till you got your first closed transaction?
It's very fast.
Okay.
It's just a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a commitment, and I got my first deal. I made over $250,000 on that one deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a good decision.
It is.
Okay, so how did you find that deal?
So I just do mailers. I joined this program again. I paid $60,000 to pay this guy. I didn't really learn a lot, and he teaches people about terms. And it didn't make sense to me after I learned it, because if you do terms on land, the default rate will be much higher.
Yes.
So I was like, is there a way that I can twist the system and make more money? I always like flipping, right? So I like to buy them and sell it for higher.
Yeah.
So in my group, they're all term investors. But they do have one common thing. They need properties. So I only mail to those landowners who own more than 5 properties. So I will approach them. I'll say, I want to buy all of your land. If you want to release all your portfolio, give it to me, and I'll pay cash. So I bought from this guy. He owned about 300 lots in the one subdivision.
Wow. Okay.
So I said, can I buy them all? But I don't have the money. Let's buy 10 at a time. So I bought 10 at a time. I sold it directly to those, term investor guys for about 150% return on each deal. And I sold the 10. I thought it was going to take for a long time, but that deal sold within 4 days. 10 deals.
So you were saying you're going to buy these cash. So then, did you buy these cash and then sell them on terms?
Yeah. So the 10 deals cost me about 11,000, and I sold them for 26,000.
Oh, so when you say
Yeah.
250, it was over the course of all the transactions. You
Yeah.
said, well, how many lots? 30 or
10.
10?
10, 10 at a time. But he has 300 of them.
So 300, 10 at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And so you just kept buying it, selling it, buying it, selling it.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing you bought 11, so about 1,000 a pop, 1,100 a pop, but you're getting as a down payment more than 1,100.
Yes.
So you're profiting immediately on every deal
Yeah.
plus cash flow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, after I bought about 150 lots from him, he stopped selling to me because he said, there's no way I can sell it to you anymore because you sell this so fast. And
So
he
you
started-
realized it was not good terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then, how did you maintain this momentum? Because that's like, it sounds like it's a very fanciful story, right? Like once you focus, you had this huge deal, right? Like it's just repeatable and so on. So how did you maintain this?
Yeah, the question with this is not repeatable because not a lot of people has 300 lots.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, how do I do that? So I do one deal at a time. It's very slow for at least a year or almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a time to make another decision. So I went to the Tony Robbins event. We're jumping around, happy,
Is this which one is this one?
UPW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unleash your
So
power within.
yeah.
Okay.
So I made a decision, but then I'm gonna move to the mainland and do land full time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when everything started to shift again.
Okay. So where were you before when you were doing this?
Hawaii,
You were in a smaller island in Hawaii.
big island. I'm in Honolulu, so bigger island.
So, but you moved to Honolulu, or are you saying you're going to go to the United States?
I'm going to the mainland, which is Florida. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Florida's the mainland. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did this all while living in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Was that piece of land in Hawaii, or the 300 lots in Hawaii?
The 300 lot is in Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you move to mainland. You do unleash the power within. How does that apply here? Like, what was it about UPW that affected you?
Tony Robbins said it's the moment of decision that shape your destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I really think about it. If I keep doing this, I have a plan B right here because I can still sell cars, making good money. But the thing is, how long it's gonna be taking me to the next level?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm doing cars full time, I cannot do this land thing so focused. It's a distraction again.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, that's enough. I'm gonna move to Florida. I'll cut the plan B. I'll do land full time, and then everything started different.
Did you have any doubts when you were doing that? Because that's
Oh yeah.
what kind of doubts did you
Yeah.
face?
Am I gonna make it? And is this will lower my income?
Mm-hmm.
And why am I be able to do this? All these things going on in my mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then, once you moved to Florida, tell me about your next deal.
So actually, we moved. That's a process. We went to California for about a month,
Mm-hmm.
and then during that a month period of time, I started to shift my method of flipping land, and I got my first deal. I bought it for $6,000, and I sold it for 58,000. So that's when I know I made the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I came here, it just deals like that.
So talk to me about how you found that $6,000 deal and selling it for 58.
So I sent offers I used to do like this out of nowhere land
Mhm.
to infill lots. Infill lots meaning it's near the city. And then I sent this offer out for 22,000. The land worth about 50. So this guy called me back and I renegotiate again. I'm a Chinese, right? Never pay full price. Right? So, and then we negotiate from 22,000 to 6,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tell him your land has a lot of trees, which is very common for land, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he live off state, so he don't care. I bought it for $6,000 and sold it within a week for 58,000. Yeah.
Gotcha. Facebook Marketplace, MLS,
By realtors.
by Realtor.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So then, along this journey, what were some of your biggest victories from when you started till today?
I think I had a deal that I bought it for 68,000, I sold it a couple days ago for 160,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that really blew my mind, even surprised myself. So, I know this system works.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do this virtually anywhere.
Sure.
And I can be anywhere too.
Right.
So I don't have to be at home, If I don't want to, I can go to China for a while, right? So
Let's talk about that deal. So you bought it for 68 and sold it for 150, you said?
yeah, 160.
160.
Yeah.
How did you find that deal? How did you sell that deal?
I sent it to direct mail. It's a small part of Texas called Galveston.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the east side. And I sent the mailer out, and the seller called me back, and he wants for 90,000.
Sure.
And when I went to the Google Map and see that, and I told the seller I went there virtually. I tried to sleep on the land, and I couldn't fall asleep. And the seller said, "Why?" And I said, "It's right next to the highway, right?" So I tried to make a joke with him, but we dropped down from 95,000 to 68,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. But isn't there it's a pretty big island,
Yeah.
but the highway goes right through the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what was I going to ask you there. Dang it. Going back to China. You would go back to China still?
Once in a while. So
Are you a citizen of China?
yes.
So you're not a U.S. citizen.
No. I have a green card though.
Green card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just bring it up because we just spent 2 weeks in Vietnam, last month.
Yeah.
And I feel fine going to Vietnam. Even though it's a communist country, it seems like they leave you alone.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely terrified of going to China because
Right.
on any random moment, they can just determine that you're a spy for the U.S.
But you look like Chinese, so you're fine.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
feel like they could just, at a moment's whim, just you know what? That guy seems too American. He's probably a spy. And then you're in a camp.
You're probably getting watched secretly. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
The people ask me, do you ever want to go back to China? No,
No.
absolutely not. I'm just terrified.
Yeah.
Their respect for freedom is a little bit different
Yeah.
than respect for freedom
We
here.
have an empire there right now. So
Yeah. Well, you kind of watch, when COVID started, they were locking people into their apartments, and what was it? They would screw their doors shut.
yeah.
Right.
There people died.
Yeah.
The guy burned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would screw your door shut so you could not leave your apartment.
Yeah. So
They treat freedom a little bit different than they do here. So I was like, I have no desire to go visit over there. Okay,
Yeah.
so right now you're flipping nationwide,
yeah.
doing 7 figures a year.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does your operation look like to do 7 figures wholesaling, or not wholesaling, flipping land?
Yeah, I think maybe I should start to hire, and I got advice for doing that because right now I only have one VA,
Mhm.
and that's about it. So because on the whole process, I don't need to do a lot of work. So for example, the first step is market selection. That costs about 30 minutes.
Mhm.
And the second step is how to make offers. My VA do that.
Mhm.
And then the third step and fourth step is negotiation, take calls. I take that about 3 to 4 hours a day.
Mhm.
And after I acquire the land, I just sell it back to the realtors. So the
Yeah.
realtor worry about dispo, and I don't even worry about it. So
So you don't have a giant marketing arm,
yeah.
or acquisitions arm, or dispositions arm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very lean. And the thing to grow it, I think, is just to hire acquisition people, and then have him take the calls. I could increase the number of mailing I mail.
Yeah. So then, step 1 is market selection.
Yeah.
So then, how do you even determine which market to go into?
So the first step is I try to avoid this major hot market. For example, right now we are in Phoenix. I will not do business here, and I would do about 30 to 2 hours away from the major city.
Yeah.
And I will see how much sold in the last 3 months. If it is number over 40, that could be a very good market for me. For example, I have some land in Eloy, Arizona.
Gotcha.
Not too far away from here, right?
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
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 So pick a metro, go out 30 minutes to 2 hours, and from there, see if there are 40 transactions
At least 40. Yeah.
in the
Or
last
more. Yeah.
month, in the last year.
3 months.
So 40 transactions in
Yeah.
the last 3 months.
Yeah.
do you care about the size of the land or the price of the sale, or is this 40 transactions?
So I actually care about the price. Right now, I try not to do the smaller deals anymore because the smaller deals, I cannot hire the realtor to do it. I have to do it myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So at least the land has to be worth over $15,000 to about $300,000.
Realtors will sell the land for $15,000.
Yeah.
What's the commission on those? Is it 6%?
10% about that.
10%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they sell a piece of land for $15,000, 10%, so just $1,500 goes to the realtor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it has to be at least $15,000 for it to be worth the realtor's time.
Yes.
So because if it's not worth the realtor's time, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because if it's not worth it to you, we're not going to buy anything less than $15,000.
Yes.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you identify the markets. How many markets are you in?
Market I'm in?
How many markets are you in?
About 45 right now.
45 markets.
Yeah.
Okay. So then being in 45 markets, is there particular data that you pull? I mean, you can't just mail to everyone with land. So like, is there a demographic or avatar you're looking for in marketing to them?
Absolutely. So the 40 we talk about, so I would dive into what sold in the last 3 months, and I will see what subdivision specifically sold. And then I would only mail to those subdivisions with about half of the price sold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you sell, you advertise at half the previous sold count.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you determine half?
Let's say in the subdivision A, price.
No, I mean, how did you determine 50% was the number?
50%? Oh,
Yeah.
I just want to offer, normally I offer about 40 to 55%. Depends on how hot the market is. If it is very close to the major city, I'll offer about 55%. And then after the offer comes back, I'll renegotiate again.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, what I've heard, and I am not a land expert, so just qualify that. What I've heard is that you want to be offering between 10 to 30%.
Oh, I wish, I wish they keep teaching that, right? So I can get
So
more
that
deals.
you look like the good guy.
Right. Yeah. So it's all about, if you do 10% for like a 30,000 deal, nobody was gonna sell it for you for that price. At least not at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10 is too low.
10 is
Forget
too low.
about it. They're
Yeah.
not even going to return.
Yeah.
Because like what I've heard is like you send out, I guess you're sending direct mail for them to call you back.
Right.
So what I've heard is you just send out contracts.
Yeah.
And you receive back in the mail executed contracts.
Yes. That's what I do.
So you send out contracts.
Contract with the offer price. Yes.
Yeah. So you don't send out like call me.
No.
It's contracts, and they either execute it and mail it back to you,
right,
or they call you with questions about your offer.
Absolutely. Or they curse on me.
Or they curse at you. Yes. There's that too.
Right.
Okay. So then your marketing is not based off any particular motivation or distress.
No.
It is based purely on the fact that there are sold comps to back up what market value is.
Absolutely.
That's pretty smart.
And then when they call me, they're already motivated because they want to sell it for half of the price, and then I'll double kill them, negotiation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you offer 50%, they execute the contract, and then what's the process? I mean, so there's really not much sales involved. There's a little bit of negotiation when they call you.
Yeah.
But then, like, what is when you send out a not blank contract, but when you send out your signed contract, what do you typically have for a close of escrow period?
About 3 weeks. After, let's say, we agree on price, I send it to the title company. They do the title research, and after about 2 or 3 weeks, I got the recorded deed.
Okay.
Yeah.
At which point are you renegotiating?
Right after they call me.
Right after they call you.
Yeah.
What is the point of when you guys are talking about renegotiating? What are the reasons why you say, hey, like our price needs to be modified?
Yeah. So we look at a lot of different stuff. For example, Google Map, GIS map, and we just look at anything I don't like. Right. So if it's close to the highway, it's too noisy. But all land has some type of problem.
Of course.
And so maybe there is a lot of trees, and land girl has weeds. And neighbor throw trash on them, and
Yeah, there's all sorts of reasons for land to not be desirable.
Yep.
Yeah. And then when you close on these, what percentage of the lands you're buying is going through a title company, and how much is it just recorded public data?
So how much I would do it myself?
Well, yeah. Are you recording it in public records, or are you actually going through a title company to get title insurance for every single transaction?
Yes, that's pretty much I'm trying to do. But some small deals, you cannot avoid it, right? So for example, I just closed some small deals last week. I bought it for 1,000, sold it for 19,000. And those ones, I just have to do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you not self-insure. What would you call that?
Self-close.
Self-close.
Yeah.
Okay. So you prefer to go through a title company.
I prefer to go. Yeah, means a bigger deal, right?
Well, it's a bigger deal, but there's, those costs. Like normally when people are doing land less than like 15,000, they want to avoid the title company.
Yeah.
You would prefer to go with the title company even if it's a small deal?
Small deal, no.
Small deal, no.
Yeah. So how do I define small deal? If I have to buy it under 5,000, I probably don't use a title company.
Right.
Yeah.
But over 5,000, you will get a title company.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, when you're saying you're working 3 to 4 hours a day, it really is, because all you're doing is just either talking to sellers about the offer or taking angry phone calls.
Yes. And sometimes I release my stress on them too.
So
Yeah.
you're not a good receiver. You're not letting them let all their stress out on you. You're giving them more stress.
Yes. I don't even know them. Why do I stress on me and myself, right?
Okay.
Right.
So you're not really pulling any particular list. You're sending out contracts. I'm guessing, is this like a manila envelope, right? That's like 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12, whatever you call it, the size those things are, or
Yeah. Just those envelope with a window,
the
two
window.
windows, right?
the two windows, and
yeah,
the two windows they can see that the cash amount.
No.
On the contract,
The-
no.
On the second letter, they can see that. Just a very normal letter. So, I should try something else and see what's the results.
Okay, gotcha. So let's see, going back here. Yeah, 250 on your first one. Spent a lot on coaching. So one thing you kind of mentioned earlier is, we have to have a why.
Yeah.
Like without a why, you feel like, well, I guess instead of saying it, but in your words, what do you think happens if you don't have a why and you're becoming an entrepreneur for yourself in real estate?
I guess the why is the motive, and it will drive you through the hardship. And a lot of people try to do a lot of things at the same time because they try to see which business is easier to do, and then they will pick that. But the truth of the matter is, all business is hard, and no matter what you choose, there will be a period of time that you feel very dark. There's no way out.
Yeah.
So you just have to stick with your why and keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then how did you figure out your why?
I have two whys actually. So the first one is my wife, and so when I was homeless, we were dating, right?
She dated you while you were homeless?
Yes. And then I was sleeping in the car, and she came into the car, and she wanted to just sleep with me for the night, right? I was like, you should go back to your dorm. And she said, no, I feel very warm here. So at that moment, I know she's a gold.
Yes.
Not a gold digger.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to dig here, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why
Maybe she wanted half your car.
Yeah. She wanted my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's my first reason. And second
Yeah.
reason is my mom. So my mom unfortunately passed away about 3 years ago. I still remember the day I went back to China. She had a stroke, and the day I have to leave to the States to do this business, this land thing. I was in the hospital hall back and forth 6 times. My mom was sleeping, and then I kissed her. I said goodbye. I left. And I came back again. Just go back and forth 6 times. I still remember that hallway. And I promised myself by then, I have to make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my second why.
So you promised yourself. You didn't promise her, you promised yourself.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to guess here, probably one child policy.
Yeah,
So you're the only child.
absolutely.
So you're the one you got to carry this legacy forward.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't know by then that was the last time to see her. So,
Yeah.
And then the COVID hit. nobody could see her until she passed away. She basically died alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard.
Sure. So, knowing that's your why, is there anything particular you do to remind yourself or anything along those lines to keep your why front and center?
I think just keeping thinking about her, or think about them, right? So right now I have 3 kids, and they are kind of my why too. And I just want to keep going and try to support the family and help as many people along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're probably really young, so they don't know about much of this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so see what other questions I have about that before we go to the audience. We have actually a bunch of questions, which is awesome. So right now you're saying you're focused on land, so you're only doing land right now.
Yeah.
So no multifamily, no other things.
No.
And it's really focused on who your target audience is. What tools are you using to pay attention to which sales are occurring, right? Because you're talking about if you go into a new market, you have your metrics.
Yeah.
But how do you know if there's another market you need to start looking into or other markets that you have right now that you need to stop marketing to?
I just go to Redfin. My VA actually just get me the data constantly. I want to see which market has more sold than for sale. I also want to see, which market is growing. I just had one done this morning. I look at Texas, whole. I want to see which county has a lot more sold.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Very simple. I don't pay a lot of softwares. There's no fancy software.
Yeah.
Redfin's free, and I use list source.
Yeah. So your most expensive source or cost really after direct mail is your VA.
Yes. I know I don't pay him much enough.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead then. We will head to the audience questions. But right before we do that, let's take a very quick break.
All right.
Wholesalers, what if you can make an extra $50,000 a month? Which is simple to do if you can close an extra 2 to 3 deals every single month. Right now, you might be walking out of houses without signed contracts, sellers are ghosting you, or even when you do get a signed contract, the seller wants to cancel before closing. And you're probably wondering, why is this happening? And it's because you're not following a sales process. And if you keep going the way you're going, you'll continue leaving 2 to 3 deals on the table every single month. After attending our live event, you'll quickly be equipped with all the tools to handle any objection thrown at you. People that attend our live events repeatedly tell us that they're closing an extra $50,000 to $70,000 instantly. Here, you'll learn how to ask better questions that engage the sellers, the skills to build real rapport, and the ability to pinpoint exactly where the appointment went wrong. Come to my office in Phoenix, Arizona, and spend 2 full days with me and my team where we discuss our entire sales process. Learn how to overcome I need to think about it, the price is too low, and any hidden third-party decision makers. And if you attend this event, we're also including our disposition sales training, our perfect seller appointment checklist, and all of our scripts. Act now because our live events fill up quickly as we can only fit 20 people. If at the end of our event, you don't see how you can make an extra $50,000, I'll give you your money back. Go to salesdisruptors.com and sign up now, because if you don't, you're going to keep leaving money on the table. FYI, we can only seat 20 people, and we've already sold a bunch of seats, so don't get left behind in our shifting industry. Okay, so I see a lot of quality questions here in the audience. But before I even jump into the questions, I was kind of remarking. So as I'm looking at the 3 cameras we have in his office, like, when did we start putting phones up? Right? Because there's 2 live feeds here, and then Ray said these are his.
Yes.
So we're live on his Instagram and live on his TikTok, which I think is absolutely awesome. What compelled you to go to be so intentional in bringing your phone? Like, you're the first person to just put up tripods and stream in here. What compelled you to do that?
So I guess that's my hobby. Whenever I get an opportunity, or at least it seems like an opportunity, I'll grab it as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, everyone knows you're the big hitter, so I try to grab you as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's my style.
Yeah. And I was kind of remarking with you before the show even started, right? Is like, is there something about the Asian culture where we feel like totally like pro camera record everything, you know? Because like, you know, we got inspired a lot by Kong Lee, you know, he's my most famous friend. He's almost like, he seems like he's Gary Vee famous. We got Ryan Pineda, we were just talking about with couch flipping.
Yeah.
And like, I know I absolutely hated it when I was a kid. My dad would break out the camera, right? Let's take a picture. Or he always had the camcorder. Every single event he had the camcorder. I remember like, I want to say I was traumatized in like elementary school, receiving one of those awards, and he showed up with the camcorder, with the VHS, and like, everyone's like, whose dad is that? It's like, you guys know whose dad that is, you know? So my dad was always the one that was recording and documenting this and that, and I hated it. It. And now I'm doing the same exact thing.
Me too. I still argue with my wife about this picture thing, right? Yeah. So she is a photographer and she likes to take pictures. I try my best to avoid it, which will piss her off.
Yeah.
And I just don't like to be, taking pictures. So,
but then here you are.
Yeah.
Doing video. Yeah. No, I got in trouble for that too. My wife said the same thing right before we started going active on social media. She's like, let's take a picture. I was like, why?
Right.
And now she's like, you're so conscious about your image and this and that. And she's not wrong. It's just, it's just, I wonder what causes this evolution.
Yeah.
So on YouTube, Ashish Verma, Ray, how should I approach land flipping if I have $100,000 to put in? I have sent 3,000 mailers. How many mailers, deals, etc. should my numbers be targeting?
At least try your best you can, but the minimum number is 3,000 letters a month. So if you ask me how many I should mail, there's only one word answer: more. Mail more, right? So I talked to a mutual friend of us, Will, and he mailed about 160,000 a month, right? So the more you get, and the keywords is consistency. So it's not like just one time. Some people ask me, Ray, how many mailers I should mail out to get a deal? I wish I could answer that. That would be a ATM machine. I just put money in, I get money out, right?
Right.
But you just have to be consistent. If you're consistent, committed to do this, I guarantee you it will work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many pieces of mail are you sending out a month right now?
About 25,000.
25,000.
Yeah.
And then let's just say there's a sold competent subdivision and you start targeting everyone in that subdivision. How many times and how often are you mailing that subdivision?
At least every other 4 months. I made a mistake to mail it too soon. So I mailed a county in Texas. I got a deal. I bought it for 20,000, sold it for 60, and got my second deal for 25,000. And it's under contract. I was super happy, right? And this county works. Let me mail it again for a higher price. So I did exactly that. And the strange thing is that second seller got my second letter for a higher price. And he said, Ray, you did this yourself. You told me you want to buy it for higher. I guess my land is appreciating. I'm not going to sell it. So he canceled that. I lost $30,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every 4 months you said?
At least 4 months. Yeah.
So 4 months in between?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how many times are you going to mail that one seller or that one subdivision?
Until I don't think there's much deals ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob Sturble on Instagram. Yeah, renting a parking lot isn't that expensive, but the insurance isn't cheap. And so Russian Nico, how long it took to close? I'm guessing we're talking about your big deal here, the 250,000. But it sounded like it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
You got it from this guy, and like a week later, they were all sold.
Yeah. So my strategy is, I tell the realtor all the time, list my property the cheapest in the entire market, because I don't want to let my land sit there for 2 years.
Yeah.
So because I bought it super cheap, and then I sell it, try to be the cheapest. Yeah. So that will fastest space.
So we're not trying to maximize on the acquisition side.
Yeah.
We just want it sold.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because this dichotomy or this mindset exists in wholesaling as well, right? Like, we got to get this super deep. We got to get the best deal possible when we buy it.
Right.
We don't care what we sell it for. Just get it sold.
Right.
Right. It's just it's such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
B Swool on YouTube says, "You're amazing. Hustle game is something serious." Mike B says, "Love the studio setup." Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. And then Mike says that, or B Swool says that your wife, it sounds like, is definitely a keeper. I strongly agree with that sentiment. Is direct mail your only marketing method for finding land? This is from 310 Group.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And especially when I first started, try to do one marketing channel. And the cold calling and testing doesn't really make sense to me. I don't want to sit there and calling and get negative and just send direct mail, right? So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the cool thing about land. And not to say you couldn't do it with houses, but the cool thing with land is you just mail contracts.
Yeah. There will be a time that it doesn't work anymore. It used to be a time for houses it works. You send a number, it works. But right now, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really do make this simple.
Yeah. I try to be.
Yeah. Well, because if you look at all the complications, because we generally we insert all the complications.
Yeah.
Right. You send out offers, you get contracts.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Do you have KPIs? Do you measure, or do you just send out mail and then whatever happens happens?
Yes, that's basically it. I try to keep it very simple. I guess that's my strength, also my weakness, because I could have get more deals if I manage those data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And then Mike G appreciates your humor. Sometimes you release your stress on them. IG, the deal fiend, says they're loving this interview. So, all right. Caleb on IG, because you are in 45 different markets, what does deal flow look like per month?
It depends, but the average profit right now is from slow down quite a bit. Right now it's about 60 to 110 a month.
Thousand in revenue.
Yeah, 110,000. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as number of transactions,
about 6 to 10 deals. Yeah. Last week I closed 5. Yesterday I closed 1. Just something like that. Yeah.
So about 6 to 10 deals a month.
Yeah.
But you have felt something change in this market shift.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what was it like before the shift, and what's it like today?
Oh my gosh! I remember in September I had the biggest month.
This past September or the September before?
September in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had profit 250,000 on that month, but right now it's nothing close to that. It's just very slow, and the seller also think, I'm in the hot market right now. So, and the buyer think, I'm gonna wait for a bit.
Sure.
So it's kind of awkward time, but you just have to be consistent to get those deals.
So, with us in Phoenix, right, like we had this shift, and it seemed like overnight we probably had like the worst shift as far as what the buyers were willing to pay. And so like our underwriting guidelines changed like 25% overnight.
Yeah.
Right. So like what we could before contract for 82 and sell for like 90% of market value, it was no big deal, or 92% of market value, it was no big deal because the buyer was betting on appreciation.
Yeah.
Which worked until it stopped working.
Yeah.
Right. But then when we had the shift, sellers were still wanting 82, 85% of market value because they were getting it before. Yeah. So it's not unreasonable for them to ask for it.
Yeah.
But the buyers went from like 92% to like 60%. Right?
Right.
So really more like 25%.
Yeah.
And so we had this this massive swing in what the market's willing to pay. And so we had this like moment of like nothing happening. It was just running into a brick wall over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I have to imagine when we talk about land, what you could sell it for in the market shift was probably 25% or even more because for the end buyer situation. So how much did the underwriting change when trying to sell it on aftermarket?
So I tell people all the time, land investing could be the recession proof because the reason why the seller or the buyer have this variables because the market changed. But the thing is, when the market changed, my offer changed as well because I look at the last 3 months data and then make my decision on how much I offer. So if the 3 months is slowing down, the price dropping, my offer drops too.
Right.
So it's pretty much recession proof. I just have to sell it for much cheaper than before.
Right.
Yeah.
So then are we basically just compressing your margins then is with the market shift or?
Not exactly because my buying price is very low too. Yeah. So
it's 50% before and it's 50% now, or did your underwriting change at all? Your underwriting, not your in-house.
Yeah.
Did Ray's underwriting change at all with the market shift?
Yeah. So I used to, but the 50% is just like a a gateway. When I enter the gate, I negotiate again. So there's no like a percentage I have to offer. I can go as low as a couple hundred if I want to, right? So just super low. I try to do my best. When I negotiate, my goal is to do the best I can.
Okay, so 50% is 50%, but that's just to get the conversation started.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, so this is negotiations have began.
Yes.
And then where you land is very different than the 50%.
Yes. So the big mindset shift about land and houses is sometimes if you do, I have this, some friend want to do this land and they used to be in the house space. They're afraid of dropping the land offer price for so low. But for land, you can because people don't have much emotion attached to their land. So they are willing to do much, much cheaper.
Right.
So that's a mindset shift for landowners or for land investors. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so then a follow-up question from Caleb then on Instagram is, are some markets better than others?
Absolutely. So I tell people when you do market selection, the first step is to find out if the state is even good. If the state is not good, don't go to find a county inside. For example, if the people are moving out more than people moving in, I'm not going to go inside. I'll never invest in New York, right?
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey, Illinois, California, that's not my market.
Yeah.
I still have land in California. It's been on the market for 2.5 years. So first of all, pick a good state to start with. And then if the state has more people moving in than moving out, I would choose a county inside. Absolutely, there is a better market. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on YouTube, Charm Michelle says, great interview. They love your positivity and focus. Ant Clark on YouTube, who is your favorite mentee?
Mentee? Oh, yeah. So whoever just follow the instruction and do it, right? So I don't want a lot of excuses. My style is the same when I teach people. Is always, I just tell you the action steps. I'm not going to tell you to read an article and make your own decision. This is what you need to do. And do it and then get results. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So right here is right now we're in the stage of age that information is overload. So we are not lacking of information. But why do we hire a mentor if the information is out there? We are not hiring the mentor for the information. We are hiring the mentor for confirmation. So we need that confirmation. The mentor will tell you this is the right thing to do, and you do that, you get results.
Yeah.
And that's why we do this mentor and mentee relationship.
I'm gonna guess because the other nickname is Boston Ant 1000 is that they were hoping that you would identify them. They were hoping you to name them directly. But I will say, like for me, my favorite person to mentor, there's two things, and they're very closely related. First is they do what we tell them to do.
Absolutely.
Without question.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They do what we tell them to do. And then when after it works, because it does, is they're grateful for it. Right?
Right.
Like those are my two favorite calls. I've been doing this for coming up on 16 years now. I've mentored over, I don't know if it's hundreds. I think it's hundreds of people. And every time it's the one that does exactly what I say to do. And then they have success, and then they share their gratitude for it.
Absolutely.
Like I said earlier, the problem is very rarely the system. The problem is normally the human being. And I'm in that category. I'm not putting myself above this. I've had mentors. I've had coaches. And they'd be so frustrated with me.
Yeah.
Steve, we said go do A, B, and C. You did a variation of A, and then a variation of B, and then a variation of C.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm with you, right? My favorite people to mentor are those that do what we know works.
Absolutely. So you can change the system, but after you have success, and then you can change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about, who were we talking to yesterday or the day before, right? But I was using this example like Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
Right? Like his dad, Del Curry, was just this great spot-up shooter, right? If he doubled off Del Curry, he hit the three-pointer, right? He had a clean, fast jump shot.
Yeah.
Stephen Curry mastered the jump shot. Now he can do all the other crazy things.
Yeah.
Right? He
absolutely.
can do the spinning, fadeaway, whatever. But he mastered the basics.
Yeah.
And then he added his flavor to it.
Yeah.
So often we add our personality and flair before mastering the basics.
Yeah, absolutely. You started to walk first, right? So,
Yeah, you got to walk first.
Yeah.
So Mike B's dispositions. Is it? So you mentioned you like to go through realtors for
Absolutely.
dispositions.
Yeah.
So then his question after that is cash or seller financing when you sell?
Cash. All cash.
Always cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not seller finance? Because that seems to be what everyone else does.
Yeah. I wish people would do that all the time, right? So I can do this. So I want, yeah,
You love it when they teach the other thing.
absolutely.
So you can do your thing.
Yes.
Got it. Perfect. I love that.
Yeah. So I just want to, land flipping should be a cash cow for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to collect cash flow, go to apartments.
Mm-hmm.
So apartments is more reliable. People have to live inside, so they will pay you for sure. But for land, they might be gone. They don't have any much pain. But for multifamily, you can buy them and for cash flow. But for land, it's a cash cow.
So you're saying because with land, there's no emotional attachment.
Yes.
So when times get tough, land is one of the first things to get let go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't like the creative or seller financing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Do you buy on financing?
No.
Seller financing?
No.
You don't buy on seller financing either.
No. I just pay them right away, and then cash has power to negotiate, right? And you tell the seller, I'll pay you down payment, and I'll pay you the rest, in 10 years. That's not as appealing as I'll pay you all cash.
What is how are you sourcing that cash right now?
I just do it myself.
Your own money.
Yeah.
You don't even do private money.
No.
You really make this simple.
Right, simple. Right. Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had to buy it on a credit card?
No. When I first started, I have to find some other people to fund the deal.
All right.
But after I got enough, cash, I just forget about them, right? So
Gotcha. Okay. Char Michelle on YouTube wants to know which mail service do you use?
I use a service called Offers 2, and the number 2, owners.com.
Offers2owners.com.
Yeah, and it's about 60 cents each. You just, you don't have to do a lot of stuff. You can sign it out.
I'm guessing by the URL that the contract's already in the thing.
Yes.
So you're not even like sending the contracts.
No. I just send them the sheet, the Excel sheet with the offer price.
So you're just,
yeah.
all you're doing is like, I want to mail to these people.
Yes.
Here's my offer amount.
Yeah.
Are you even like pulling the names, or are you just like, I want to mail to this area?
Pull the name is my VA's job, so I don't even do that.
So, so you're telling a VA, I want to mail to this subdivision.
Yeah.
Get the names, get their mailing addresses, right?
Yeah.
Not the home, not the property address, but get their mailing address. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You take that, you submit it to offers to owners.
So he does the offer price first, and then he submits to offers to owners.
Okay, so name, mailing address, offer amount.
Yeah.
You send it to this other service.
Yeah.
And then they send the contracts inside the mail.
Right.
And then all you get, again, is either executed contracts to is it a box office or a P.O. box, or you actually send it to like an office?
My home.
Your home. You really make it super simple. All right. So the contracts go to your house.
Right.
I mean, do you use like a call tracking service, or do they just call your cell phone?
I use CallReal.
So you have some services.
Yes.
Okay.
I do pay.
You do pay for a software.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So CallReal. I love this, right? I mean, it's super simple. So name, mailing address, offer amount, goes out, executed contract comes back to your home.
Yeah.
Or they call you and you negotiate.
Or go to my email or fax number. So there are 4 ways they can get hold of me.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So again, super, super simple. IG, thanks for the value. Really appreciate listening to this live stream. Do you pick specific realtors when selling the land?
Absolutely. So all realtors will tell you, I know the entire area. Send me all the deals, which is a lie. And a lot of realtors don't know the entire area.
Yeah.
So when I look for the realtors, I only see, let's say, my project or my subject properties in this area. I only look for realtors who actually sold land nearby.
Yeah.
I never search, let's say, Phoenix land realtors. I never do that.
Yeah.
So they have to sold some land nearby.
They need a track record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then are you using Redfin for that? Zillow?
Redfin.
Redfin.
Yeah, and very sophisticated software, right?
Yeah, just use publicly available information.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the fact, like, how much you've simplified it is absolutely incredible. To
Yeah.
bring in this kind of revenue, it's phenomenal. So then, looking right now, from when you decided and committed, right? Like, you moved to California and then Florida. I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing. Till today, how different does your business look?
Still myself, but just the process.
Mhm.
I tried different things. So right now it looks very simple and easy, but I tried multiple things and this actually works.
Mhm.
So, I try to make it very effortless for myself.
Yeah.
And that's
What did you try that didn't work? Like, what were some, like, biggest, like, mistakes?
I did like the direct mail with a no offer price. I got like 400 calls out of 4,000 mailers. That wastes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't work out for me. I don't like to take a lot of calls and have to make an offer right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so offer price actually works better for me.
So it's better just start the negotiation before the phones even before they even call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple enough. What freedom does real estate afford you?
Oh yeah, I can be anywhere, and of course I have to work a lot right now. I have the coaching business, but without real estate, have to do this car thing, which I've been doing long enough, and I'm tired of leaking oil,
Yeah.
engine problem, all this stuff.
But you were making 30, 40K a month flipping cars. You could have bought a Lamborghini and posted on Instagram
Yeah,
selling cars.
yeah, I should have died sooner too, right? So there's a lot of work,
Yeah.
with cars.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and if you park on the street, people will tow it. There's a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So a much less simple business
yeah,
compared to today.
yeah.
Yeah. So you said that your wife is your why and your mom is your why. So, like, how are you? How does that show up? Like, how do you demonstrate that, to your significant other?
My wife probably don't feel it, but just have to work harder, right? So, right now I'm not like in the, I'm not looking for more money. I just want to do more and to help more. I guess I work a lot, and my wife sometimes feel like you leave me alone all the time.
Yeah.
I guess that's how I should have done better for the family.
What does do more and help more mean?
So just right now I have this Instagram and TikTok going on, and I try to show people how simple this process can be, and I have people reaching out, and it's a wonderful feeling to help another people to earn some money. So they don't have to be working for someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
What is your biggest struggle right now?
The struggle should be, I think, all entrepreneurs think they're the hero, right? So they think I can do this. Nobody else can do this better than me. This trap, right? So I just need to find a guy who I trust enough to take calls for me, right? So I have to believe that if he focuses only on one negotiation, he can do a better job than me. So that could be my struggle to trust someone enough. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounded like earlier in our interview that the qualification to be a good negotiator was to be Asian.
Yeah.
So why don't you just go hire another guy that's just Asian?
Right. Yeah.
Actually, I watched over the weekend Stephen He. Have you watched any of his videos?
No.
So he's another YouTube guy, right? He's a comedian, Chinese in Ireland, right? If he's not in Ireland, then he's from Ireland, right? So it's kind of funny. He has a bit of an Irish accent, but he does this skit, like why you should never kidnap Asian kids. All right, so we're gonna do a reaction video. I'm gonna have Amelia, my daughter, come in. We're gonna do a reaction video about it. But basically, the kidnapper calls, and it's like a $20,000 ransom if you want your kid,
Negotiate.
right? He's like 20,000. Like, what kind of discount can I get? Like, I never pay full price, and you just
Right, you gotta negotiate.
yeah, you gotta negotiate.
Yeah.
And by the end of the skit, like the guy's like, "I'll pay you 20,000 to take your kid back."
Absolutely.
Yeah, but so like, what are you doing about this? You've got. It seems like you've gone to unleashing the power within. Are you coaching right now with Tony Robbins or not?
Not right now. I used to be their platinum group, which is the highest mastermind,
Yeah.
and that's why I find the deal founders.
Mm-hmm.
And but right now I just stop a little bit and try to focus on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no mentors right now.
No.
Okay. So you're in the platinum group, and I think it was 75K, now it's like 83K a year or something like that.
80K a year.
80K a year.
Yeah.
Plus you get to pay for all the travel.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
None of that's included.
plus special events, you have to pay more. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the financial, they have a once in a year, and you have to pay for that. Yeah.
I thought that was included.
No.
How much is the financial one?
$8 grand for
8 grand.
2 days, 3 days.
I mean,
yeah.
at 80K, 8K is kind of noise, right?
Yeah.
It's only 10% more.
Right.
But talk to me about that program, because did you ever meet Jonathan Leahy in there?
I think I might have, but I
He
couldn't.
was the Remax guy. I think he's EXP now. But he was trying to convince me to join.
Yeah.
And I was like, buddy, like 75K plus travel, like, no.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So tell me about your experience in being in Tony Robbins' premier group.
That kind of was my dream, because when I was in China, I was listening to the translated version. This weird guy talking about Chinese, and it's not even sound very good, right?
Probably not the same energy and passion as Tony
No,
Robbins.
no. They were like, you need to do this. But when I came to America, I was like, I need to do this. I remember my first event is in New York. Me and my wife went there. We jump around and walk on a fire,
Yeah.
and we felt good. And then I was like, what's more? I want to join that platinum. And so I went there, and it was a heavily financial burden. And
Yes, it is.
yeah, but it's great. And inside that event, I made a decision. So that decision made me a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as like who you were able to connect with, right? Like
Yeah.
people were telling me, right? Not verified. Is like, if you want to be in the same room as Warren Buffett, that's what it takes. Were you ever in the same room as Warren Buffett?
No,
No.
not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, who were the people you got to connect with that made a difference in your life?
I guess just the people you meet, and you become who you associate with.
Sure.
And I always try to associate with people who actually doing better than me.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people say, "Oh, Ray, you just so money, right? So everything you do is just money oriented. You just associate with people who are richer than you."
Mm-hmm.
But they have results. They have different mindset. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't point to anything there as like, man, like this made a big shift for me besides making the decision.
I guess they found my deals, and they made me a lot of money on that. So
Yeah. Well, there's
Yeah.
that for sure.
yeah, those people has money and they have results. Yeah.
I mean, to pay 80K a year plus travel, because they don't go
Right.
somewhere simple. Like, you don't just go to Los Angeles
No,
or Florida. Like, it's
we went to Costa Rica and do this crazy things.
Yeah. So how do you stay motivated?
That's what I want to emphasize. So I remember a thing that I read from a book. He said, "Do not listen to yourself, but talk to yourself." So that was a big mindset shift for me, because I used to listen to myself. And so if you listen to yourself, it always says, why me? Why am I don't have a rich dad like the other people? And why I have to hustle this hard? Why this always happened to me? Why this is so hard? And that's the result of you listening to yourself.
Mhm.
You're not going to motivate yourself that way.
Yeah.
And but instead, I'm doing right now talking to myself, meaning every morning after I wake up, I'll just tell myself how awesome I am. I can do this. I got this. And for this interview, I was like, I got this, right? So instead of being afraid and crying on the corner, I just tell myself I can do this because someone else did it. Why not me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's keep me motivated.
So listening to yourself can potentially lead to, why is this happening to me? Kind of a
Right.
victim deal.
Right.
And talking to yourself, you can program your brain
Yeah.
into who you want it to be.
Yes. And then you program your mind to a point that your mind actually start to talk to you in a positive way.
Hmm.
So that's what you want.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to share from your self-talk in the mornings that might be helpful?
I'm rich. I'm abundant. I can do this. I can. I will. I am. All this affirmation, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Mike B, YouTube. Does Ray close in cash before listing on MLS?
Yes. Yeah. Buy on cash. Yeah.
And then just to emphasize, use your own money. There's no hard money or private money.
No, just on my own money. But we all start somewhere, and at first you just have to do whatever you have to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you measure success?
I think success is you try your best, and if you haven't tried your best, you're not successful. And you have to be grateful, like you said.
Mhm.
Grateful for what you have, right? So,
Yeah.
looking back from that guy playing video games to right now, and then I see that there's a lot of room for human potential,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I don't come to the States, I'm not sure where I'm right now.
Mm-hmm.
But success is doing your best every single day, one day at a time. Don't overthink it. I think eventually people will think you're successful, but in your mind, you tell yourself, I got more room to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your superpower?
I guess negotiation. So I'm not afraid of talking to people, lowball people face to face.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually almost got hit by two guys because I lowballed them.
Physically?
Physically, yes. Because when I was doing cars, I have to do this, right? Yeah. So with land, even more, no afraid anymore because I cannot see you, you cannot see me.
Right.
So
shameless.
shameless.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder if that's a cultural thing because I am totally the same way.
Absolutely.
Right. Like I was that realtor. Like, hey, I want to submit an offer this price. Like, are you sure? Like, this is what's probably gonna happen. Like, fine. No, this is what I want. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll make it. And like, I get chewed out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I just read your book when I was waiting,
And
all the point you talk about is what I'm using. All that I found out is just, I thought it's just something I figure out, but that's actually a culture thing maybe. So you figure out too, right?
Well, in our book, Active Listening 2.0, in our book, we talk about how to we reverse engineered sales, sales and negotiation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. What is your superpower?
Superpower?
Mhm.
Negotiation.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. What is your biggest regret?
Regret is I should have not gone to college.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my absolutely huge regrets. I would
In China or in U.S.?
both.
Both.
Maybe in American is not a regret because that's a steps don't have to step on it, and without that I cannot be here.
Mm-hmm.
But in China, that's a purely waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could start with 18, and I should have been super far away.
Yeah. I just wish I was there when the dean found out it was you with those cars. I mean, that would have been an awesome sight to see. I think you probably should with whenever you got some time, recreate that scene.
Right, and the dean told me you have 21 days to sell that 80 cars.
Mm-hmm.
So that was stressful.
Did you sell those 80 cars?
Yes.
See, you got it done. Right. Sometimes we need deadlines.
Absolutely.
So you think that, if you didn't go to college in China, could you even gotten here on a student visa?
Yes.
You could have.
Yeah, because after we go to high school, we can apply for university.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you learn your greatest lesson?
I think it's a process. At first, I didn't have money, and then I just have to read. And so a lot of people, at least I used to think, if I want to be rich, I have to do the things to be rich. But you have to, later on, I find out if you want to get to a destination, you have to be there first. So what do I mean by that? So everything we see right now it's been created twice. Look at this table, this microphone. So it has been created once in the designer's mind. So you have to be there first, and then you can be physically there. So I was in the college in the States. I used to be a cleaner for this big theater thing. So I earning about $8 an hour. So how can you be from $8 an hour to rich people? You have to be mentally rich first. So I keep listening to these books. So one of the books contribute a lot of, to me, to my life, is called The Science of Getting Rich. So it's a very skinny book. I highly suggest everyone read it.
Yeah.
So I listened to that over and over again, maybe for a period of half a year. Every single day, I listened to it once. So
Wow.
I actually mentally there, and then it took a little bit of time to actually get physically there. I remember when I quit the job, I already making about $15,000 a month. Yeah, flipping cars.
Yeah. So before it can happen in reality, it has to happen inside your head.
Yes.
And so for you, it goes back to that positive self-talk, positive programming.
Yeah.
And then it will, what's the word I'm looking for? Manufacture's not the right word.
Subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your subconscious will make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great lesson. Which failure did you learn the most from?
Failure is probably that 6 years. And the reason for that failure is about distraction. So I wish I shouldn't have been distracted for so long. I just stay in one area and just do more and more, right? So all the rich people you see, the billionaires, they actually have fewer things to do, but they go super massive scale in that one thing. So it's not about how wide you go, it's how deep you're going.
Yeah. That's a huge lesson, and one I struggle with, to be honest.
Yeah.
What book have you gifted more than any other?
Just that book, The Science of Getting Rich. And
Okay.
That really helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I want you to think about a message you want to leave all the listeners with. I'm going to close real quick. Guys, right now we see a window of opportunity in this market. I'm excited to seize the moment. If you happen to have some capital, you'd be interested in investing, you don't know what to do with it, or if you have some killer deals you need help to close on, you can partner with us. So if you want to do either one of those things, go to teamwithsteve.com and let's do business together. And again, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe right now. It helps us reach more people. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. And we do have Jamil, the Blue Genie, coming next week. So we're going to get an update as to what he's got going on in his life. Love to get that update. So what are some last thoughts you'd like to leave the listeners with?
Jamil, is that the Buddha guy? Just kidding.
I wouldn't say Buddha. Let's see, what is he? I think he's Christian.
Christian.
I think he's Christian.
Yeah, his video is funny.
Oh, his videos are hysterical. He actually was actually did stand-up comedy in Los Angeles for years.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, if you actually look him up, it's either, I think it's Funny or Die.
Yeah.
You can look up some of Jamil's videos on Funny or Die.
It's very funny. Yeah. But my message is this, very simple. It's a story. So just imagine there's a huge truck, and on the truck, there's a lot of woods. And one day, all the woods caught on fire, and the fire is huge. And some people come here and try to put out the fire. So they got a cup of water and start to, spill on the fire, and they see the fire is not even moved. It's going strong. So then the people say, okay, this cup of water actually don't work. And I tried that, but it doesn't work. So they give up. That's what happens to most of the people. So when you try a new thing, it's not the thing that doesn't work. It's you haven't been consistent enough, or maybe the amount of action you haven't taken enough to make it happen. So that's a story that reminds me all the time. I just have to keep digging. And I remember when I decided to teach people my first seminar, guess how many people showed up? Zero. And I start to teach. Nobody is there. I teach myself. So, you just have to, practice, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, but it's great. It's a testament, right? And I love the way you simplify everything. And you're absolutely right. I haven't heard that analogy before, but it's spot on, right? Like, I'm gonna try direct mail this month,
Absolutely.
and then I'm gonna try cold calling next month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text the month after that,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna do PPC, and I'm gonna go back to direct mail.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just do one thing. Go deep with that. Okay. So if someone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
So I have an Instagram. It's called Virtual Flip Land. So one word, Virtual Flip Land, and I'll be there.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. It was
Thank
an
you, Steve.
absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys all tomorrow for PTD.
Shout out to Steve Trang. Jump on the Steve Trang. We real estate disruptors.